Mr. Crash of Words. May I stand unshaken amidst the crash of words.
Yeah, how about like that? We'll start like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, welcome back to the Foreign Listeners Podcast.
Oh, already.
I'm your host, Drigo Blue Polo, and today we're gonna do a rerun because because last time we tried this, I failed miserably. I take full. Stop! God damn it. Are you gonna do this the entire time?
No, that was just for that time.
Okay, cool. Let's call them.
Trying to make my presence known since last time it got fucked up and no one knows who I am.
Exactly. Okay. Today we're doing another Minnesota, and this one's going to be very specific to something that we tried to do last time, and this is on a game very dear to our hearts. And by our, I mean to my right, I have Gamer of the Year. He won.
He won. Okay.
He won. It's Hill.
Matthew? Oh
No. You're right.
Gamer of the Year.
So tell us about
shit.
yourself, Hill. Okay, prove yourself to be in the show.
What's
your
I like
credibility?
games. I like games.
He did it. Okay,
I like-
thank you very much.
That's why I'm Game of the Year, because I, Anthony Hill, like games. And I am a fluent gamer, I like to think. I live the gamer lifestyle.
You're fluent in gamer.
I'm fluent in gamer, yes. Dothraki.
We should have had you over for the Game of Thrones episode.
Yeah, you should have. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like racism was involved in that. No, but yeah. Why do I deserve to be here? Because no one else was gonna play this beast of a game because they don't know anything about this. They don't know the good culture.
Their IQ wasn't high enough.
The IQ.
Exactly.
It's like
they don't watch Rick and Morty, so
playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and playing any Rockstar game and actually loving it is like a acquired taste. You know,
it's like fine wine.
It's like fine wine. Exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, I hope you can defend that. We'll see later on.
Oh, and yeah. Well, I can defend that. Trust
okay,
me.
Cool.
Okay.
And in front of him, we have he's been here. You're here every episode, aren't you? At this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Matt.
Hi, I'm back. Matthew Batra is here to talk.
Not,
You know what?
Shit.
not,
Guess we're gonna have
I'm
a
done.
problem
I'm
today.
I wouldn't say it's shit, right?
Hell no. What
The hell
the
no.
hell?
He's not talking shit. No one's talking shit.
So-
Matt, how you been since
I-
last time?
Good. I finally got over Game of Thrones. Came to peace with how it ended.
Really?
Um,
I'm
I
surprised.
call bullshit.
Not many people.
I've been watching more videos ever since. This.
some more theories.
Yeah, it's just.
course.
Ghost is the the best one.
You go to the Zora High, dude. Today we're talking about what we're talking about.
I don't know. I think
Rootin'
we're talking
to-
about Bully.
Rootin' to
Bully?
cowboy shooting.
Bully 4.
Bully 4.
Bully 4 in Wild West edition. We're talking about Red Dead.
Redemption 2.
Red Dead.
There you go. I was like, are you waiting for something?
No.
Red Dead.
Everyone knows which one it is. No one really cared about the first one. Kidding. Yeah, everyone-
Excuse me?
I was gonna say something really dumb.
Say it. Say it. Call me retard. Do it.
Can't say
Pinhead.
that word.
You said the word. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, this game came out when? Last year, November?
Yes, not last year.
I don't even.
And when did we record the first time?
December. We recorded it in Christmas break. I remember.
Oh, yeah. So that's how you know we've been delaying.
Dude, it's like fucking middle of summer.
Let's talk about what we were feeling and what we experienced when this masterpiece, I like to call, came out. So what do you think, Matt?
Oh, so when this masterpiece came out, I thought it was great because I used to play the first one with my cousins.
Yeah.
So they had it, and I thought that was really cool. So when I found out that the second one was coming out, I was like, "Whoa, dude! Like I totally have like I have the potential to buy games now. You know, I'm not some tiny little kid anymore." So
Tiny little.
so yeah, watching my cousins shoot fucking people, but now I could like actually bought it, and I bought the game.
Yeah.
And I thought it was amazing. You know.
Oh fuck!
Just so you know.
Oh yeah.
He was playing.
Oh yeah. Him.
playing it right
Him
now.
screaming earlier. He's playing Red Dead right now.
I
as we
attempted to
speak.
play chicken with a train. I dodged it, and my horse somehow immediately veered to the right into
He
it.
dodged it. The horse didn't.
Mm-hmm. That's a mechanic we will be talking about later.
Oh yeah. Keep going.
Okay,
So-
yes, it was a great story. It has my favorite characters in any video game ever.
It's a bold
That's a bold
statement.
statement. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it has Arthur Morgan, which is now one of my favorite protagonists.
Protagonist.
Thank you, Roger Clark.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Roger
Course.
probably gave the the performance of a lifetime with this.
Mm-hmm.
And it has one of my top 5 villains, which is Micah.
Is Micah the bad guy?
Peter Blomquist.
Yes,
Yeah,
Peter
yeah.
Blomquist.
Has he?
There's no two O's.
Have any of these guys done anything beforehand?
I forget.
Peter Bloomquist was in Bloom. I say Bloomquist.
Fuck.
He was in L.A.
Noir?
Yeah,
Oh no.
What?
you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, he was in it.
Ooh, was he a bad guy?
Yes, I think he was. I think he was one of the doctors.
Was a bad guy
Just
doctor?
one of the guys who like committed like a crime. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean by bad guys. I mean, what other?
Like,
And then
is there a main bad guy?
Oh, and is that being a serious question? Because I can answer that.
I haven't played L.A. Noire.
No? Oh man, that's another great game.
Was it a great game? I heard
loved
the
it.
opposite.
Really? I love that game.
Because I heard Rockstar didn't make that one. I heard that they just published it.
One of their subsidiary companies, like in, I think it was Vancouver.
Who do they have?
What do you
under
mean?
them?
Who do they have?
Who are the subsidiaries of Rockstar?
Like the different companies that are stationed. Oh fuck. Do that. The
Wait, so
different.
it was one of the
do the-
Rockstars, right?
Yeah, it was
Oh, okay.
Rockstar Vancouver. I think it was
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah.
Canada because they were doing some crazy technological stuff over there, and
Canada.
that's why they had this such photorealistic faces because they like legit face scanned all the actors.
Yeah.
So that's what they did. It was Rockstar Vancouver. So it wasn't like the main ones like Rockstar San Diego or something like that.
Yeah.
Because, not because it was like that. I feel like that's why you think like Rockstar didn't do it because it was Rockstar Vancouver, which I don't think they had done anything prior to that. So it was just like there. So everyone's like, "What the heck is this? Like, this isn't the Rockstar I know." Like, what? So I feel like that's why it got so much flack. But I mean, I love that game. That game was dope.
L.A. Noire.
Just the atmosphere.
I
was so
think
good.
Benjamin Davis.
Button.
That's
yeah.
that's a character.
I think he was a pedestrian in that game, or one of the GTAs. I think too.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Is Rockstar one of the companies that has like that stays loyal to a couple actors for some reason?
Possibly.
Possibly. I mean, they bought 2 of them back.
But yeah, but that's like needed for the story. That's essential. They brought 3 of them back. They brought back Bill Williamson.
Oh, wait. Well, who?
It's the same actor.
Yeah, it's the same actor. What the hell? You can't change his
well,
voice.
I mean, yeah, from the. I'm talking about like other.
Oh,
games.
from other games?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, did they transfer anybody over that they would? Like,
Yeah.
They keep using over and over again.
mm-hmm.
Kind of like how Tarantino uses Samuel Jackson.
And Eli Roth and
Use them for everything.
Who's the guy from Soldier?
Soldier.
Escape from L.A.
Oh, Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. There.
Damn, how do you forget Kurt Russell?
And it's like
I forgot
what
his name,
the
sorry.
Tim
That hurts.
Burton Johnny Depp relationship,
Oh,
where they bring someone like Johnny Depp's in every Tim Burton film.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah,
the
that
case. And
too.
wherever he is, that chick who plays Bellatrix is in too.
Yeah.
Like she's
Uh-huh.
always in the same movie as. I think she's obsessed.
Really?
I don't know. Actually, I'm kidding. But back to Red Dead. Back to Red Dead. But that was called. I think altogether, I think we can all agree that the game was just a very personal experience. I'm not sure like how you describe it because it wasn't anything new, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was riffing off the first Red Dead, which
Of course.
you guys love, obviously.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
they
don't know
just
who wouldn't.
they just took it to a whole nother level. Even though I guess the best way to describe it is it's a cowboy game.
Mhm.
You know, it's a shooter cowboy game,
Mm-hmm.
and even that concept is in itself something that's been done over and over beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they had that, they took it and made it something just a little bit more. They took more time into putting detail into it, and I think those little details with all the things, whether it's music, gameplay, or all those small things. That's why I think it should have possibly, maybe, I don't know,
Possibly.
One
I think
game
for
of the-
sure.
one game of the
The
year
hell?
last
We
year.
forgot to mention the question.
Oh yeah, well from now on we're gonna be trying to set up this question that we focus on for most of the episode, and it's back when this game came out. For sure, we all said this probably should have won Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
For being honest,
Mm-hmm.
the whole point of it doing it now is just looking back at it over the past half year and still thinking about should it still have won Game of the Year.
Are we gonna
Is that
answer that right now?
rhetorical or
Right,
like can I
yeah.
actually answer that?
Yeah.
The whole point is to answer that question today.
I
Oh,
I
okay.
felt so dumb describing why I like the game, so I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna just say everything.
Yeah, that's
is
fine.
that is
Go
that
ahead,
good?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
Go
run it
ahead.
all down.
Oh, we're starting the podcast now. Go.
Okay.
Sick.
So I said, one, I fell in love with the story. Great story, great protagonist. Arthur Morgan, I love you. Roger Clark, love you.
Yeah.
One of my favorite top 5 villains, Michael Bell,
Michael Bell.
later Peter
Blomquist.
Flower.
Okay.
Well, for you, this game what your focus on this game was throughout the whole like process of playing, I'm guessing, was the focus on characters.
Yes, like the writing aspect, I guess I would say that.
Yeah,
And, like,
obviously. I think what the writing in this game that was good was the writing out and fleshing out of characters more than what's happening in the story. Everyone gave it shit because of that one like little intermediary adventure that goes on.
That's what I was about to bring up. So like started. Well, I've already forgot how it's been that long. Like what chapter 4, 5?
Yeah, it's chapter 4.
Yeah,
Chapter 4 when they go to Schwarm. I don't
yeah.
know.
Once Lenny dies, and spoiler.
Well, at this point, it's been 6 months
months later.
You should be playing it.
For
What's
real.
called? Yeah, Lenny died.
Once Lenny and Hosea die, I
Yeah.
think that's when like
The
It's-
story itself starts to
it
fall
starts to deteriorate,
apart.
and then
Like the gang itself.
the game itself, the missions start becoming super repetitive. And I realized this when I was on a horseback with Charles, when you're helping the tribes.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the same thing. You go to a place.
You shoot some dudes and then you run away.
Yes.
There's only so much you can do with
In
a
a
shooter.
Western game,
and a shooter in general. Like
Mhm.
when you play, like if you were to play Call of Duty,
that's
If you look
repetitive as hell. You just
if you look at the story, all you're doing is going in shooting people, you know.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And compare that to something like I was watching my brother. He bought the Batman trilogy,
Mhm.
Mhm.
the Arkham City, Arkham Knight, all those, right? He was playing Arkham, I think it was Asylum,
Mhm.
and even though that's mostly a fighter, you know,
Mhm.
there are moments where it changes up the gameplay.
Of course.
There's
You
puzzles.
turn into detective
It
work.
turns into detective work. It
Exactly.
turns into the puzzle games. It turns into this like side scroller moment with Scarecrow. Like
Oh, right.
they
I
shake
forgot about
up.
that.
They shake up what's going on in the game, and what's going. When you compare those two, like the variety of what Batman's doing to the repetitiveness of what a lot of shooters do.
Mhm.
There's only so much you can do in that kind of realm of gameplay. You know,
Mhm.
when you play games like this one, all you get are what shoot up a camp, take a stagecoach, or
Dude.
tail somebody. like what are you,
You kill
supposed to do?
Buffalo in one mission, and you
You save Buffalo. You're supposed to interrogate a guy one
you
time.
help John with sheep. You know, carrying around hay boogin barrels.
You don't have to do that. I did though. Every single time I came back to camp, I just picked up shit and just stuff like that.
Whenever I would go to camp, freaking, I just get my ass beat because I didn't shower.
What the hell? Really? They did that?
Um,
I don't
Yeah.
think, did they beat you?
Oh shit.
I never
That's
showered.
gross. What the hell?
Yeah, you don't remember
You guys are
that?
gross.
Yeah, if
You don't
Um,
shower? Even in
Miss-
the
I don't
game?
shower. No. Oh, we're talking about the game.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
kidding.
yeah, but like you'd get your ass beat by Miss Grimshaw. Like she'd
Like she'd cuss you out, or would
yeah,
she
and then
actually-
she'd just make you shower. It's like a cutscene.
Oh snap!
Oh, so it's basically kind of like
bad.
Metal
Free bad.
Gear Solid 5. You guys
Really?
know Metal
I
Gear Solid 5?
haven't played Metal Gear.
I have. I haven't played that much into it though, because
You haven't played Metal Gear Solid 5? That game came out
Dude,
like
I
2-3 years ago.
I know. I have it.
I never got
I'm
into
like,
it.
It's a
fuck.
great game.
I know it is. That's why I've been wanting to.
I have
fucking
one
play it, man.
problem with I have one problem in like open world games. Like
Mm.
they're great and all, right?
Mhm.
But my problem is that sometimes I get so deep into playing side missions.
Mhm.
Here's the thing: certain games have repetitive side missions. It's
Oh
called.
yeah, of course.
I like to call it the Ubisoft effect, where it's just the same thing over and over and over again for side missions,
That
right?
hurts.
And what's called Metal Gear Solid 5 has it.
Mhm.
Those like side things you can do with the helicopter, right? Remember that?
I think.
There's just like side things where you just go in, infiltrate, kill somebody.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. What you
And those never end.
Really?
In Metal Gear, yeah, they're
Oh,
just
God.
infinite basically. So don't even bother doing all of them.
Okay, thank you for telling me. I
At-
was
at this-
actually
yeah.
I'm the one that usually grinds out the side missions before
Oh
the
no,
actual story.
there are games where side missions are just a grind,
Oh, I
Yeah.
know that.
right? With that one and
Mhm.
another one I played called Shadow of Mordor.
Oh, okay. Thank you
Right?
for telling me because I have both of those too.
Same thing with Borderlands too.
But that's
Which-
the thing.
No, but that
Which-
no.
But I love the
Borderlands?
side missions of Borderlands too
Yeah,
because
I'm
they
like,
weren't
they're not
repetitive.
repetitive.
They
They're-
were
are they
amazing.
infinite
Uh-huh.
though? Do they keep going over and over and over again though?
No.
Or are
There's
they
a
just
lot.
are they
There's
just the same
so-
structure? It's just different people.
Same
Yeah.
structure, different people, different dialogue, different
Well, for
things
us,
you're supposed to do.
for the games I'm talking about, at one point it just becomes I just have to do this again and again and
Mhm.
again.
Mhm.
For Shadow of Mordor, you have to kill those upper heads,
Orcs,
the orcs, the
right?
like the
orc-
leader
like
orcs.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. The leader orc.
Well, if you don't move along the story, at one point you're just gonna keep killing orcs and they're just gonna keep coming, and
Mhm.
it's just gonna get annoying. I basically burned myself out on both Shadow of Mordor and Metal Gear. I didn't even get to finish Metal Gear because I got so burnt out of it.
Mhm.
Wow.
So that's my one problem with open world games, right?
Mhm.
And it's got that difference from this game because I was able to really focus on not just those side things. I could do collectibles, I could do
Mhm.
strangers, and then I can come back to the main story if I really wanted to.
Mhm.
So that's why I think this game itself did a really good job of formatting that.
Mhm. No,
You
yeah,
know?
definitely.
At the beginning.
It didn't have those uber repetitive things. That's all I'm
Mhm.
saying. You know what I mean?
Also,
Yeah.
the one aspect I thought that was really cool about this was even if you like put off the side missions and you know you get through the whole like story, the side missions are still there, and there's different instances of how you communicate. You know, spoiler alert: when Arthur dies and you become John,
yeah.
the cutscenes and everything are different, and like they did a really cool continuity thing where you know with the widow up by the waterfall in the corner of the map,
Mm-hmm.
where if you like start the mission as Arthur and then you die and then you don't finish it, but then you go back as John,
Mm-hmm.
she like still helps and stuff, and she's like, oh, what happened to your friend? And it's like very like they really thought it out. Like, what if you know that like that's how you wanted to play it, you know, you could go back as John.
Or what if you just
Mhm.
eventually that's just how you ended up doing it?
Mhm.
Like, you
And
didn't think it was gonna end, you
Mhm.
just kept going.
their detail and just the amount of dialogue that went into it, and like the
course.
small, like there's so many lines of dialogue and
Yeah.
events that actually happen in your camp that you
Mhm.
could miss.
Yeah,
I
I know.
was-
I
Yeah,
did.
if you look at the trailer for the very like when the launch trailer, I think for Red Dead, when they
Mhm.
were just having a bunch of like quotes
Different.
going on,
Yeah.
like, they're just saying things, and it was like very epic.
Mhm.
A lot of my brother was mad. A lot of those quotes he realized just came from the preacher when he was drunk at the campfire.
Yep.
Like, like they wrote so many different
so
things
cool. I love
just to build the world.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so
you know,
I was on my second playthrough, and you know the one where you're helping John with the sheep.
John
Yeah,
with the
I
sheep,
see.
You're
I
helping
think.
cattle sheep, and
oh,
As John or as
you're
Arthur?
as Arthur,
when
but you're helping
stealing it?
John.
When you're stealing it,
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So I went to the camp and I was playing poker,
Mhm.
and Arthur and John have a full-on conversation about doing it again, and they're just like laughing about it.
What?
And it's like, wow, just like
wow, fuck, man, I missed out,
the
dude.
man like recording all these things, and like props to Rockstar for doing like the amount of work that they did
Of course.
to have like these things that not everyone would experience.
Speaking about that, what do you guys think when they released the what was it? It was like a news report, or it was a someone reported on it that Rockstar had like boasted that they were doing like crazy like something like 64-hour work weeks
Oh,
because they were grinding their
Mhm.
things out, employees out. What do you guys think about
Grind
that?
never stops.
Did you
Like, I remember like a lot of people were like, what the hell? Like, Rockstar's corrupt. They're wicked. They're making
Well,
like
here's the
running their
thing:
employees in
were
the ground.
were they forcing them to do it?
No, Rockstar they kind of fumbled the ball. They said that in the interview, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god!" And then Rockstar was like, "No, you guys don't understand. Like, it was a passion project. Like, everyone that was
Yes,
putting in the extra
that's-
hours was
mhm.
everyone that they wanted to do that. They wanted to make it the best that they could
That-
possibly
And it
do."
fucking shows. I mean,
course.
that's,
Do
that's the thing you
you-
have to like. You have to accept that they didn't.
Mhm.
They didn't just oh let's just put something together to make money.
Mhm.
You know, maybe the online's like that, but the single player campaign, the package that they put together as
Mhm.
is great. Like you can't even deny that it's a great product.
Mhm.
It deserves a nomination. It's just I feel like it would deserve the win too.
Yeah, just like I wanted to say, did you see what happened with the gun or the gun ad?
Gonna.
So apparently people made the connection where they said that the people working on it were underpaid. Like you said, it was basically a passion project.
Mhm.
And when you're buying, I think it's a revolver or one of the guns. See how it gives you like a very long description right
Oh,
next
yeah.
to it, like the very tiny words.
Mhm.
Apparently one of them has like, oh, the people that made this gun were underpaid, and it was just saying all these things, and people are making a connection to the actual like workers working on the game.
Why would they put that in there? It was a little bit too on the nose. Don't you think?
That's what I said. I was like, I think people are reading too much into
they,
that.
They do. A lot of the times they always just read too deep into what's going on
Mhm.
here, and it's just like these guys aren't EA. First of all, let's just put
Of course, hell
let's just
no.
get that out of the way. They're not EA. So like, I want to talk about that when we get to like just talking about Rockstar as a company. But
Uh-huh.
what's it called? Just the game in general. It's well, you said it yourself, a passion project, and
Mhm.
it's successful.
Oh yeah, of course. I think there's only a handful of passion projects that have actually like really
Yeah.
stood out.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Somebody else had a passion project. I forgot who it was. They made this like battle royale. Who was it that made that? I completely
Which
forgot.
Battle Royale?
Yeah,
it was a battle that was like complete shit. It was like It was like 80s music.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I forgot who created it. Was it the Gears of War guy? Or a lot of
Oh my
Gears of War
God.
guys? Was it the original Gears of War guy? I completely forgot.
No.
Oh, yes, it was.
It was?
The guy who made what's the other battle royale that was no, not battle royale. Sorry, the game that was gonna come out before Overwatch. That was the original Overwatch.
Oh,
Battleborn?
Paladins. Nope, I'm retarded. Battleborn.
Lawbreakers.
Oh, okay. That one was already out after.
That was after, right?
Yeah,
it
that
was
was
supposed to
after.
come out before by like years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because what's it called? That was the guy who created Gears of War a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
He left and made because he made millions, and then he bought like 10 Lamborghinis. Now he's poor. And he made this new game called
I remember.
Lawbringers or Lawbreakers, whatever it was,
Mhm.
and that fell apart because everyone was like, "Oh, it's just like Overwatch," even though it's been worked on for way much longer.
It's the
Mhm.
same thing that happened with Battleborn. It
Yeah.
came out at the wrong
That's
time.
that's exactly what
That's
what
crazy
we talked
now
about
that
this
you think
before.
about
it. Yes.
And like an old podcast we're talking about, right? And what's it called? He after that game fell apart, Lawbreakers, whoever it was, he decided to just make a passion project, battle royale game that was
I
like
remember
set
what
in
that
the
was.
80s or whatever it
I
was.
remember it was like an 80s game show.
It
I
was-
played the hell out of it. Dr. Disrespect sponsored it a lot because he was like an 80s. That's his persona.
But like
like a 80s
nobody
dude.
else played it though.
No, a lot of people played it. It's just that Fortnite was
Fortnite.
Fortnite, and
Why are we
I don't,
still talking
actually, I
about
don't think
Fortnite?
Apex Legends was out.
dude.
But fucking A,
did you see
dude.
Fortnite
I remember I
was
played
at-
that game. And
Fortnite was at E3, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh my
guy.
God, no way.
You didn't see-
John Wick was.
I saw. Oh, no, save for the E3 podcast.
Oh,
we're
okay,
doing-
okay.
No, I just saw one of the guys in the llama costumes. Like,
That was so bad. That was almost as bad as Just Dance 2020. But like, but that's another podcast.
so I'm gonna start. So I never finished what I wanted to say about the
I am
game.
so sorry. Go ahead.
But next, I guess I will talk about the graphics.
You can
and
finish
the
what you wanted.
actual world itself.
Well, graphics are top notch. They've always been ahead of the game with.
Yeah, graphics they weren't too bad.
For who?
Red Dead.
Oh.
So they weren't bad at all,
No.
but they weren't like
Revolutionary.
4K.
They weren't up to your standards.
No, like for a Rockstar game, I think this is great. You know.
Yeah, it was cool. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to say that they're stylized or if they're more just trying to be realistic.
Yeah, I'm not expecting like Disney Pixar animation at all or
Well,
anything
it's
like
called.
that.
You have games like Borderlands that's not even trying to look realistic.
Oh yeah.
compared to
Well, that's how
games-
they're successful because you varied art styles.
Yeah,
and then-
compared to something like the Detroit Being Human, which is trying really hard to look
Yeah.
realistic.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So see, like I wasn't expecting something like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, but the graphics for like a Rockstar game were amazing. The world itself being
Yeah.
big,
Yeah.
and I thought they did a really good job in having like about 1/4 of the world cut off from like while you're Arthur. So
Oh, yeah,
like
well,
all of Armadillo.
You
and-
can't reach
West Elizabeth.
southwest Texas basically.
Yeah. So I think that was really cool that they leave that to John and like there's still something to do after
There's
completing
still some
the main
there's still some
story.
end game to it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've said this. I think I said this last time, and I'll say it again. If there's something that Rockstar successfully always manages to hit out of the ballpark, is world building a world.
Mhm.
And whether it's in the Wild West or in some kind of messed up modern day parody society like in GTA, they nail it. They know what they're
Course.
doing, and it's called, I love how Rockstar and Bethesda are kind of similar in that kind of sense. They have these two franchises where one of them is meant for yield and play and just fun, which is the Fallout, where they just mess around with it, which is kind of like GTA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
And the other
yeah.
one they actually take seriously.
What, Skyrim?
Elder
okay.
Scrolls and Red Dead. They don't really mess around with Red Dead, do they?
No, I always like that idea of it because
Like there's nothing being parody in the game. Like there's not
no, not that I can think of.
there's
off the
not
top
like
of
they're
my
not
head.
making fun of civilians or
no.
anything like
no,
that
no, yeah, no, they're
in
not.
this game. No, they want to make a real
Realistic.
gritty
1890s.
1890s. Yeah.
Mhm. And the thing I liked about it, like, it's kind of hard to, I don't know, emphasize in words, but the way that they structured Red Dead, they actually use like real places. So like New York, California, Texas, they actually like name it. Whereas in GTA, since it's parodies, they say Liberty City and Vice City, and it's like they don't use the actual real events that occur. Whereas in Red
Yeah.
Dead, it's like structured off of history, and it's like kind of like a drama, like you know how they do TV
It-
shows based on like the Peaky Blinders or something. Like it's I
Basi-
like that aspect how Rockstar knows what they're doing and they know how they wanna
Yeah.
keep it.
They have their form.
They have their
They
different
formula, and they have their.
They keep all their franchises separate, but then again, there's also like little allusions to them. So I know in GTA 5 in Michael's house, you see a book named Red Dead Redemption by Jack Marston. So it's like, oh, Red Dead Redemption is a book
Oh shit!
in GTA 5 universe.
But is that really? Is it meant just to be an Easter egg, or
yeah,
is
it's
that
like an Easter egg
Yeah.
kind of. They don't like, oh, you read Red
They're
Dead
not.
Redemption?
They're not clearly forcefully demanding.
No, it's like a sly kind of like, oh shit,
Yeah.
like damn, you have to be really.
They're not saying, oh, Red Dead Redemption is actually
It's
a book.
kind of
No,
like
yeah,
the
yeah. It's like
Disney,
the-
like
for-
the Pixar Easter eggs, like where like
Mhm.
they'll have a reference to something, but they won't
Mm.
actually like.
It's
I
also
guess
like
they're not
the-
actually connected.
The
I
Pixar
think-
theory.
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah, they haven't like confirmed it, but people like put it together. And
I
say-
think a better comparison to how Rockstar does it and how they keep their franchises separate, but they have like a sly allusion to them, would be like the Quentin Tarantino verse, where I don't know if you guys have
there's
read
not
the
a
theories.
confirmed- Yeah, I know what
But
you mean.
yeah, where like Kill Bill is a movie that you would watch in Quentin Tarantino's universe, where in Pulp Fiction, Uma Thurman, she basically references the whole storyline of Kill Bill 1, where she's like, oh yeah, I play as a ninja lady and I kick ass and then I take revenge and blah blah blah. I was like, oh shit, like
Oh
you can-
crap! It's like this is a universe.
yeah, it's like a universe. Like certain movies fit into certain genres. So like Django would be a movie that they would watch, and then Hateful Eight is a historical accuracy and how they manage to people like do a bunch of like theories on YouTube where they're like, oh yeah, like Samuel L. Jackson is like a lineage and of different characters, and he's essential to all the storylines of the
He's
movies.
a god. He's never died.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
Just like people try to connect.
Actually, he has died. He died in Kill Bill 1. He's a
Yeah.
piano player in the church.
Doesn't he die in Red Dead? Oh no, not
Red Dead.
I mean,
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he dies in Red Dead.
doesn't he
Yeah,
die
he's
in
Lenny.
Hateful Eight?
Yeah, he. Well, it's
I
in,
mean,
it's in,
I mean,
it's,
they never
it's
say
alluded
everybody
to.
died.
Yeah, just like Red Dead 2.
Actually, we don't know if Katie's
I
dead.
haven't played the game. Shut up.
Stupid. Oh my god, why are we having this podcast?
So
So that's why I wanted to say it. Like the way that Quentin Tarantino kind of alludes to everything, and he kind of keeps it like the same. Rockstar kind of has the same formula, and I feel like it's cool because they're at a point in like industry where entertainment can piggyback off of video games and video games vice versa. So like the way that this starts out, you start out in the cold and the weather and like just throws you in, and kind of it heavily reminded me of the beginning of Hateful Eight, where it's like they're in a wagon and it's like in the snowstorm, and then they're like building up to everything, and even they use like the same kind of like shots that Quentin Tarantino uses, and they use like the same font and the same like red letters. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but
yeah. Like, I was so obsessed with that movie. I saw the extended version.
yeah,
on
I saw
Netflix.
that. I saw that
one
like
too.
legit last week. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, this
How
is
long is the
tight.
extended version?
4 hours,
Each episode's like
an hour,
There's- yeah,
58
there's-
minutes,
yeah,
and there's
uh-huh.
4 episodes, so 4 hours. Boom.
What were we talking about again?
Hateful Eight.
Okay, good.
yeah.
I completely forgot that it's separated into
And
parts.
I kid you not, I was
Mhm.
watching it and there was scenes that I was like, that was cut out of like the film, and I didn't even notice. Like
Me
I
neither.
didn't notice it was 4
Exactly.
hours long. It felt that short.
Exactly. That's,
Well, when you put together a story that's well paced and you can focus on it
Mhm.
without getting bored, it doesn't matter how long the movie is. If you notice what's called, I remember watching Infinity War. I had to go
Mhm.
to the bathroom. I couldn't
Mhm.
hold it, right? And that movie was what, 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
240,
Yep.
right? Now fast forward to Endgame,
3
3
hours.
hours. I sat there the entire time, having drank a whole like 10-liter bottle of soda.
my
Like,
God. Oh man.
but the thing is, when you pace out a movie so well, like Quentin Tarantino does, or like
Mhm.
Red Dead does, you know, pacing out how their game plays, you can't do
Mhm.
that with the story here because you play it at your own pace.
Mhm.
It's how the gameplay works for games.
Mhm.
When you do that well enough, then if it works for you, it's satisfying. I remember a guy was analyzing how games, open world games, give you events so you don't
Mhm.
get bored.
Mm-hmm.
They have a rule. I forgot what the rule is. I think it's like, I don't know,
30-second rule.
30 seconds,
No.
something like that.
Really? 30 seconds?
I don't think it's 30 seconds.
I think it was
it's-
like 10 minutes or something. Or probably 5 minutes or something.
I forgot what it was. But what's called Red Dead.
You're going to look it up.
But Red Dead did something where it was called everyone does a certain amount of time,
Mm-hmm.
and Red Dead decided to take that time and double it.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah.
So
yeah, you're
that
talking about this, I remember.
so that was called, you don't have something happening to you every single moment.
Mm-hmm.
it
Not
gives
just
it
like
to
a
you.
cascade of freaking. Oh, there's a bandit over there.
Oh
there's a
shit!
bandit
No,
over
I
there.
did this. Oh,
Oh, I'm gonna get robbed right here. Oh,
I like how they programmed how you get events. I remember I was
Mhm.
playing. I had a bounty on me. I didn't want to pay it off because
cheapskate.
shut the fuck up. But it was good.
I'm a good boy. I pay all my bounties.
I just made like 2,000. I didn't want to pay it off. But what's it called? I was like, why am I not getting events to fix my whatever you call it, my
Your honor?
honor? Yeah,
Mhm.
I wasn't getting anything, and I was getting so frustrated. I was like, I have nothing to fix my honor, so I can like.
Go do chores.
They don't
Go
give
do
you
chores.
enough.
Yeah,
And
they
I
don't. You
was
just
so
say hi to everybody.
I was so
greeting.
frustrated to the point of being like saying hi to everybody in Saint Denis for a good hour. Like I'm not even kidding. I just kept saying hi to everybody, just to get good honor, and it wouldn't work. And I was just getting just so frustrated. And I realized I had to pay off my bounty or do jail time. And when I did, afterwards, as soon as I got out of jail, an event happened. I was like, really? Really? After I pay it off? And that's just how they programmed it, because they don't want you to fix your honor when you're a bad guy. That's not how that works.
They don't force you to go either way. That's what I like about it. Like,
Yeah, they're not
it's
making you
entirely
pay off your bounty.
player choice.
It's player driven. You do what you
Mhm.
want, and that kind of freedom is kind of hard to.
Encapsulate in every game that you make.
Not just that, when you give people a freedom, you either end up with the problem of not giving them enough to do,
Mm-hmm.
or giving them too much to do, and they don't know what to do.
Or too little. Oh
Yeah,
wait, no, yeah, you already
is
said
it
that. I'm retarded.
You're fine. No, but like that seems that's a very big that's a very real problem that gamers have. It's just like if you end up making your whole game like the ending of Destiny, where there's nothing to do.
There's
Then-
an ending. There's an ending. What?
Actually,
Oh,
they added
okay.
it all
I
through
could debate
DLC.
That's
on
why
that.
you have to pay extra dollarinos.
It's called pay to
For
win.
DLC.
boy.
actually too, fucking Destiny 2 making you buy all this fucking
You buy the game basically 3 times over.
yes.
Just to fucking.
I stopped
I've
after
given up-
Forsaken. I was
what
like, I'm
the-
done.
I'm so confused. Like, just
Fucking
veering off for a bit.
EA.
What's going on with Bungie, dude? Like, what the fuck?
They're picking up on EA.
Well,
They're
didn't
like,
they?
They're making money. We need to make money.
Didn't? Aren't they working on Destiny 3? And then
God, I hope
Well,
not.
of course they're working on Destiny 3. They have a contract.
when
for
did
10
they?
years.
When did they branch off of
Activision?
Activision or
They're not branched off of Activision. They're still
Yeah, they
under
partnered
them.
off of
they
them.
They're their own individual.
They're their own thing now.
labs.
So
But
now they're doing their own thing.
Yes.
So does that mean they can create good content?
Yes.
I mean,
I'm hoping.
I hope
And
so.
they-
I hope that this is a problem that Activision was the cause of the entire time, and not just Bungie.
Mhm. I feel
Which
like it
is-
would be because Activision is one of those companies that are like, oh, we need to release a new COD every
Same
year.
thing that we talked about. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast, but the Activision Blizzard thing now, and now like Blizzard's like
Blizzard?
stocks has gone down really low.
Oh, that's
Well,
because
Activision
Overwatch
Blizz-
is
yeah.
dying.
I know, but
thank the Lord.
But not just with Overwatch, but with like Hearthstone.
That's because
Um,
people are finally realizing they want good games instead of just.
exactly.
Finally,
Copies.
gosh.
We went through phases of MOBAs, battle
We had
royales.
we had battle, and now fucking Fallout's doing it
I know,
too.
dude. I was
So surprised
man.
when they actually did it.
I was like, really? And then they were so excited.
and then
then
Gio was
even the
excited.
crowd.
too. Gio was
Really?
excited. He was like,
He doesn't
"Dude."
even play Fallout 76.
He did.
What the?
He played it again though, just to
Oh
check it
my
out.
God.
Yeah. So here's a chart of the last
Holy
year.
shit!
This is the last year.
Can you screenshot that and send that to me?
This is
Damn.
that's the last year.
That's
Great
actually-
Depression is currently hitting Blizzard. Holy
But-
crap!
but-
Oh my god.
And this has been the last 5 years. So.
Okay.
But then you see
Well, they're starting.
you see that's when they joined.
Yeah,
You see,
they're not even plateauing, dude. They're just like plummeting back to where they were like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What doesn't make sense to me is why. What doesn't make sense to me is why Bungie would go through all the trouble of working with Microsoft to build up this reputation with Halo,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and creating probably the greatest space shooter of all time, Halo Reach,
Of course.
and then just fucking it up with Destiny. Like, what happened? Why would they leave the parent company that's basically given them everything they could, or everything they wanted?
Maybe it's one of those passion projects turned money moguls where it's like, oh man, this is a cool idea, and then they have the big company come in. And it's like, you know what? We can make millions of dollars off of this. Let's fuck it up.
But why'd they leave in the first place? What's the problem?
Because they were probably feeling passionate about Destiny so much. They're like, you know what? Maybe
we don't
can
need
do this
we don't
ourselves.
need a parent company. We don't need somebody to
Exactly.
give us the money. We can do it ourselves.
That, and then either that or they got tired of making Halo because
Yeah.
Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, Reach,
and there you go.
5.
Oh no, they didn't do 4.
They didn't do 4. They did 1, 2, 3, 4.
They did 1, 2, 3,
reach and an ODST.
And they left with a bang. Reach was amazing.
Oh yeah, of course, masterpiece. I love that game.
I think I love Noble Six more than Master Chief, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
That's
even though it doesn't even
that
talk.
is actually extremely misplaced. That is not. I don't think that's liable at all.
Yes, it is.
In what way?
Noble Six deserves more credit.
More credit.
So
I don't know about
bringing
that.
it back to Red.
Oh, I know.
Bringing it back to Red Dead. Arthur Morgan's like Arthur Morgan's like Noble Six.
Oh, okay.
I want to
That
talk
hurts.
about.
They both die.
Bringing it back to graphics, the glitches in the game.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the negatives of this game, like because there are some negatives.
There's negatives in anything that you can find. as long as you look for it.
I talked about the story. Another negative I'm bringing up with this glitch is
The horse mechanics.
the horse mechanics.
Yeah, like couldn't they just
and-
call up Nintendo and get the Breath of the Wild mechanics?
So I thought that was very annoying, and I said on the last podcast, the first time we recorded this, I said the cover system was really dumb.
Oh yeah, you told me that was
Really?
Like,
I said it was dumb, but then playing it again and actually playing online, which we'll talk about later, I realized that it's pretty good, and I didn't know what I was talking about, but yeah, I think pretty much just like falling off your horse every 2 seconds.
I think that was the main problem for me. That the fact that the horse was so frustrating to use. The only time I ever had a problem with the cover system was when I was around rough terrain and I didn't know what to hide behind.
Okay, I get that.
And I can see why you meant what you did, but when you're in the city, you're pretty solid on what you're covered behind.
The game knows like when there's a big ass wall versus when there's like tiny rocks and boulders. You're like, oh, like it has a seizure when you're like,
It's like, did you want this rock or that rock?
yeah. It's like, you know what? Now we'll send you the rock 50 feet away. There you go.
Did you guys ever get that? One time I was in the woods
dude.
and I was trying to hide behind this tree that was right next to me, and instead of going to the tree, it goes to a tree like 30 yards away.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Oh man, I had so many.
And I was getting like
blunders.
I was getting raped by bounty hunters at the time too, so that's why I was trying to
Pay
hide.
your freaking bounties.
Did I
You
want to?
cheapskate.
Shut the fuck up.
Bounty hunters have never been a problem for me in that game until I did the first time in my first playthrough. I was doing the Black Bell mission.
Really?
And then right after, because see how in like that story or that little side mission, actual like bounty hunters come. Then right after I killed all of them, I had like 2 more waves of bounty hunters come. I was like, what is going on?
They never stop.
Exactly.
They don't. What's it called? You don't. When you said that you don't never had a problem with bounty hunters, I was like, bullshit. Eventually, you just don't stop coming here.
Exactly.
And then eventually they send dogs after you, and you can't kill them because it gives you bad honor.
Yeah,
and you're just like, what the fuck?
They didn't stop. I mean, I think it became annoying after Annesburg, or when I got to Annesburg, because I'd just be like in a forest, and
I
then
fucking hate Annesburg.
yeah.
I walked in. I didn't have a bounty. I just walked in, and everyone's like, just start shooting.
Get him!
Get it! He's a fucking southerner. Just shot me out of nowhere. I was like, what the fuck? Anyways, but what's it called? Mechanically, the game isn't bad
Mm-hmm.
at
No.
all. Like, except for the horse. The horse is horseshit. Yeah.
I feel like what they went for was realism in every way, shape, and form. Where you have to cock the weapon with your trigger, like to pump it
If you're aiming down.
if you're aiming down. Well, yeah, that and then the reload animations in first person are extremely realistic.
Exquisite.
I love that.
They're beautiful.
And I feel like they were like, you know what? Let's carry it over to the horses, and they kind of did, but then they made them like kind of like cockeyed horses. They're like,
Have you guys ever played The Witcher 3?
No, that's another game I have in my library I haven't touched.
God, what's wrong with you?
I'm busy.
You're lucky because they fixed Roach already.
Really?
The Roach is the horse
Oh, okay.
of the main character,
Uh-huh.
and Roach when the game came out originally, Roach was just a piece of shit. It was glitching left and right. They made an April Fool's joke about it. That's how bad it was.
the own company, CD Projekt
their
Red?
own company made an
Oh,
April Fool's
wow.
joke. They were like, the joke was, Roach was so well designed that we had to make glitches to compensate, and that was the
Wow.
yeah. And what's it called?
I love when companies do that.
yeah.
They know they fucked up, but then they still
And
make
they
fun of it.
They laugh it off. They're not like EA, and they tell you, "Oh, we have surprise mechanics, not gambling."
Thank
Fuck.
God you mentioned that.
Oh my
I was about to say
God.
like, oh, you're
Oh
talking
my-
about the interview from the other like last week.
That's so
Surprise mechanics, like what? There's not even loot boxes in freaking in Battlefront 2. Like you legit have to buy those shits.
I literally stopped playing that game.
Oh no, you should go back to it. Go back to it, please.
One of the lumps.
That game is so good.
One of the lumps, Chewy.
Yeah.
He keeps telling me to get on because he got the game. He got Battlefront 2. He's like,
Got
dude,
it a year later.
download it again. And I shit you not. It takes the most space on my PS4. It's like 80 gigs.
I don't know why it's so big.
And I deleted
80
it.
gigs?
Yes.
It's
Not even Red
huge.
Dead's that big, is it?
Yeah, I think Red Dead's
It's like
69.
69,
Why the
8.
fuck is it 80 gigs?
I deleted it and I had so much space. I was happy.
Damn, dude, that's crazy, man.
I mean, even for me, that's a bit much because I have the terabyte for the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
But like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
80 gigs?
Mm-hmm. That's why I was like, I'm out of here.
I'm outie. Yeah. The horse is only the only problem, really.
For me, yeah. I don't know.
I don't
trying to think
think I
what
ever
else.
had a problem with the game besides that. I like the side missions. I like the strangers you meet, and everything's pretty fleshed out. That being said, Rockstar, you did a good job, which is why I'm a little bit worried as to why you're downgrading the game after it's already come out.
Yeah, I was kind of frustrated about that because I had no idea that was happening until my friends that were playing it. They're like, "Dude, did you hear?" I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, they made the graphics shittier for single player, but they upped the graphics for multiplayer." And I was like,
Yeah, they made
What?
it look, they made it look
like,
stunning
what the hell?
in multiplayer, apparently.
"Dude, oh my god." Okay, yeah, they did because I went back to it and I was like, "Huh." And I was like, "Oh, I was moving." I was like, "Oh shit, this is like legit 60 frames. Like this isn't like 30 how I remember it." And I was like, "Oh fuck." And I was like, "Wow, Rockstar really did." And I was like, and then I just remembered, I was like, "Wait, but they downgraded the story." I was like, "Damn, I don't know if that's a good trade-off." Especially at this time right now where they don't have that much content for online.
They don't have any content
so
online. Let's be real here.
Are we gonna get into online?
Yeah,
now?
let's
Okay.
transition to it.
I
I think we hit the main points for the story.
So what I want to say about online is online could have been a little better. It certainly is at a better place right now as it was when it started. It's fun that when you're by yourself, the missions
Oh man, it sucks when
sort
you're by
of
yourself.
becoming they become repetitive and you can't really do anything fun because you unlock things as like each level you go up. So the only way to get up in the levels is to do stranger missions, which doing by yourself, and it just becomes like a full-on grind that you don't want to do. It's very it's like very tedious. You don't want to do it.
Is it a worse grind than Destiny? I don't think it's possible.
Well, Destiny, you have more stuff to do.
Yeah,
and it's very closed, and you have more like loot and stuff. Whereas in online, you grind the fuck out of it for as long as you can to scrape up a couple cents and buy a gun, and then you're like, oh okay.
Yeah, I
and
heard,
then
I
what
heard,
now?
I heard the economy system was terrible.
It was, dude. Oh my
it
god.
still kind of is.
It's
But
still
now
pretty
it's
broken, but now they kind of balance it, sort of.
they're kind of just giving you gold bars for anything.
Yeah, for real. Honestly, they gave me like 60 gold bars just for signing in over 2 weeks. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I will enjoy spending these gold bars when y'all make the freaking multiplayer better instead of focusing on GTA 5.
Well, that's the thing.
Please.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to talk about beforehand. Like Rockstar itself, like the company has always been a great publisher and creator and developer of games. Even their PG games like Bully, I've heard was highly praised.
Dude, I was so surprised. I was like, I've never played Bully, and I hear everyone like, oh my god, Bully 2 is coming back. I was like, you guys are really excited for that game? And I was like, well, I guess gotta check it out.
People like Bully a lot. I don't even know why.
It was on sale. I think it was like, and right now it's on the flash sale on PlayStation. It's like $5, I think.
I'll be right back. What's called but yeah, there was this one picture of showing you just the games that Rockstar had been publishing and developing over the past 10, 20 years, and every single year they either published, helped, or developed a game. Up until GTA 5. At GTA 5, they stopped and they kind of focused on what everybody was playing at the time online. I didn't think they could make so much money off of fucking shark cards.
Dude, oh man, all the little kids, man. They get their parents, man. They're like, I feel bad.
That's why Fortnite's
So many
good.
wallets were robbed from freaking just for like, oh, I want that Bugatti. Like,
Oh my god, Mom!
oh man, dude.
It's bad. Like
That's why you go on PC, meet some modders, and get them to get you money. Don't ban my account, Rockstar. All my cars are entirely for modded money.
you're either like that or you're like my friend who literally would watch videos every week on how to
make the most.
how to glitch
Oh,
how to
no.
glitch like garage cars and shit like that.
I remember when Red Dead came out, the economy was like super broken, and they're like, "Oh, you know what you have to do? Just go to this house. There's like a $50 jewelry bag
I
in
know
there.
what you're talking about. I watched that video
Yeah.
too. I was like, give me money, give me money.
Just get out of the game. Do
There's
it
a
again.
point where you get desperate. You're just like, give me anything I can.
Mhm. That's what I did. I opted out for that. I took the route of actually doing the dumbest thing in my life and grinding the fuck out of it. Where I went to the swamps.
That's the stupidest thing ever.
I went to the swamps. I bought a varmint rifle and I just kept on shooting the little flamingos. And those shits made me like basically a trillionaire. I bought so much things. I still have like over $1,000 and I haven't touched it. And I'm like, wow, I really wasted like a whole week's time of hunting birds just to buy like a couple guns and then be like, oh well, I guess that's it.
I think I made it to like.
Oh well, I gotta do it again now.
I think I made it to like level 15. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I can't grind by myself anymore.
Mhm. I mean, it was kind of fun because we were grinding with friends, but like,
That's the thing. If you just play with friends for anything, even 76 is fun.
And my friends that actually.
oh
play
yeah, of
this-
course,
And my friends that play this game
they still play it.
don't grind.
What do you mean?
No,
don't
what the hell?
grind?
They're
What
all
do
just
they
fuck around and
They
like-
basically just fuck around. Like they just
That's fun
kill
too.
you for now. I'm like, that's fun and all, but like, I need money for ammo.
Yeah, for
I can't
real.
fuck around if I
Oh,
can't buy a
man.
last.
I hate the fact that you waste ammo in like the actual like matches, like the ranked
Yeah, that
matches
is the
and all
dumbest
that.
thing.
I was like, oh,
He's like, you know what? You gotta buy your own ammo after this. I'm like, well, there goes my first place winnings just for what, like $50 worth of ammo.
yeah.
So you're telling me I can't spam my my Lamont revolver?
No, you can't.
Oh, speaking of Lamont revolver, they didn't add it to single player. They just added it to multiplayer.
Really?
Oh,
Apparently.
Huh?
And my brother was pissed too because he was like so excited because he loves the Lamont revolver. They had it in Red Dead 1.
Mm-hmm.
They did?
Yeah, it's in that one. Yeah, that's the one with 9 shots and then like the last one's a shotgun.
Oh my god, I don't even remember that. What the hell?
I
But he loved it. He was just like, "Oh, dude, they're bringing it to Red Dead 2." And then it came to online and not single player. He was like, "What the fuck happened? Like, really?
Mhm.
Not bringing it to the single player? Is this the line mission?"
Yep.
Sorry, Hill's playing and he's doing the line mission. Anyways, but yeah, like it doesn't make sense to me why you wouldn't give it to the single player content too.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
like
weird.
what do you lose by not giving it?
Mhm.
They're slowly adding they're slowly leaking the actual main story to the online. They added Sadie to the
Sexy
stranger
Sadie.
missions.
That was cool. I like
Sadie
that.
and who was it? Black Bell. I
Yeah.
think she's in there. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that was pretty cool. I think that's one of the reasons why I came back, and then I just did them, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like still though, like I went back to play it and on online, and I was like, oh cool, Sadie Sadie Adler and Black Bell, they're in there, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go do their missions, and then freaking, oh my god, okay, freaking Lion almost died, and I remember I was like, oh cool, I can't wait to do the missions, and I go, and I was like, I was in Saint Denis, and I was like, okay, cool, and I was like, wait, hold on a second. I gotta take a freaking 20-minute journey all the way to the fucking corner of the map where Sadie lives
Oh,
to start the mission. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, I'll do it. And I did it, and I was like, that was not worth
Was
my
it worth
time.
it? Was
No.
it-
I was like, damn it.
because you just meet Jake, and he's like, all right, I need you to
Uh-huh.
go take a carriage.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, well, so much for that. It's like, man, they really need to make shit snap here.
While I was up there, I did the Flaco Hernandez
Yeah.
one. That one was pretty cool too.
Yeah, I like the bandit missions way
The-
more.
The cutscene was pretty cool.
Mhm.
Like when you walk in, and then he's like behind the door, and then he puts like a
Mhm.
gun to your head.
Mhm.
He's like, "Who are you, chamaco?"
I know. I like how they kind of fleshed out characters even more in the multiplayer. Like Sean McGuire, he dies in Rhodes, and like
oh yeah.
yeah, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh shit, you
I
can
don't know.
Yeah.
meet Sean. I was like, oh fuck. Yeah.
I remember going to the cabin
Uh-huh.
and thinking it was Evelyn Miller, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to do a mission for
Evelyn Miller.
the writer, the
Oh,
writer."
the writer. Okay.
And I was like, "Man, this is terrible." And then you
Mhm.
walk in, and Sean's like, "Oh, who the fuck are you?"
Yeah,
and I was
freaking
like,
Irish.
"Oh."
I was like, damn, Sean, that's dope, dude.
Yeah,
I like
was
that.
Super cool. And then
They kind of just offed him in the single player, like
Yeah.
out of nowhere. I was so surprised too.
Mhm.
I was like, wait, what?
and then
I
like
mean,
show,
but that was a cool instance. Like, I like
Yeah.
that. Like they really played with you, and they're like, oh, like
Like, you got out.
they had to start it
scot-free.
off eventually because whoever played the first one knew that everyone's gonna die. There's only gonna be like a select few that
Mhm.
survive, and then they're like, well, this is the big bang that we start with. You just like boom.
this is their time to shine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's so. I mean, the only so basically only Sean is in from the actual main story. I think there's only 3. There's Sean, Sadie, and Trelawney.
I wish you could meet like
Yeah.
Jose or like Lenny or something like that. That'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But
You
the thing
couldn't. You
is,
couldn't meet Jose then.
you can't forget that they're still, I guess, in their own gang,
Mm-hmm.
or they're still
Yeah,
doing their thing
technically,
somewhere
yeah.
else. So
Yeah, they had to play off.
How
the
far?
characters
How far
there.
back does the multiplayer take place?
The multiplayer takes place in 1899, before all the events of the actual game.
so it's the same year, just before the
Yeah.
event. Oh, okay.
Is it literally the same year?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
it's the same year as when Arthur Morgan and all them show up, but it's just before. Well, it's not the same year. I think it's like a year before or something. All I know is before that the whole story takes place, because Trelawney is separated, and they also mention that in the game. Sean is like somewhere in the mountains, or they also mention that. So I think it's after the heist, but before everyone meets up.
That would make sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's why Trelawney's in Saint Denis or whatever, like, fencing stuff, and then Sean's like roaming around.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
make sense. Yeah.
I know. I remember the time period they mentioned it. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, this makes sense. Like, oh.
So it's like an intermediary period.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
They did the
because
same thing
he
with
did the
GTA.
heist with them, but
Well,
then he
GTA
was
5
lost,
was
right?
less on the nose. They really didn't like mention like, oh, this is before like Franklin and everyone robbed the banks, but like you get that instance through cutscenes and stuff where like if you do the heist, Lester's like, oh, we should do the big heist that you do in the end of GTA 5. We robbed that big ass bank, the Grand Union Bank, I think it was.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Oh.
Lester mentions it in the cutscenes, and like, wait, didn't you already do that? And then it's like kind of like, oh, okay, it's before the main.
I forgot to mention one of the glitches. When they added Sadie and like the revolver and all that, the
Mhm.
online was it would crash every 15 minutes for me.
Really?
And I thought it was my PlayStation. I thought my PlayStation was old. And then I go on Twitter and I go on
Oh,
the latest,
no.
and everyone's like, okay, yeah, you updated the game, but it crashes every like 15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And the stranger missions, some of them you weren't able to do. So you would ride somewhere, and it wouldn't let you talk to the stranger.
What the hell?
Like it would just like be like very transparent,
What
and
the
you
hell?
wouldn't be able to like click it, and then you would just be looking at them. It's like really awkward. It's like, well, I want to talk to the lady.
Sounds sexy, actually.
Oh fuck. But yeah, that was also very annoying.
Hmm.
But
So for the bulk of it, since you guys played multiplayer, I didn't play multiplayer.
No?
No, I never
Wow.
played it. No, I didn't have anybody to play with since I'm on Xbox.
lonely.
How is
I
it?
have Xbox. What the hell?
You have Red Dead on Xbox as well?
That's where I played it on, guy.
I thought you played it on PlayStation with him.
No.
No.
No. I play it on Xbox. That's where I
You have
played it on
other
Xbox.
friends. That's what.
You going?
Sick.
I just finished Wolfenstein 2 today.
Oh, I saw your story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the first one.
I haven't played them.
What? Really?
I haven't played it in the.
That's a
Wolfenstein
great
game.
series
I
to
like
start
both of
with.
them.
I like.
They're both pretty good.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I like the first one or second one more. I think I'm gonna like Doom Eternal more actually. But it's got overall multiplayer. Do you support it? Is it?
I support it, yeah, because I feel like there's a bunch of potential that they could do. But if they're gonna keep on focusing on GTA 5 and franchise that more than Red Dead 2, I feel like that's gonna be the downfall of it, which is kind of ironic because they're basically competing with themselves. So like one's gonna have to eventually overpower the other. And I feel
Mhm.
like if they try to do this juggling act with GTA 5 and Red Dead 2, they're gonna drop the ball on Red Dead 2.
Well, they're gonna drop the ball on one of them no matter what, and it's just like obviously they're gonna have to drop the ball on GTA 5
Yeah.
Mm.
because they've already lost a chunk of their player base. I don't think everyone's still playing GTA 5
yeah,
online.
that's what I would say.
Mhm.
I
'cause
highly doubt they're gonna keep going.
I
with that.
do support multiplayer because I see the path they're trying to take, and it's
Mhm.
cool to know like they're trying to add more and more.
Mhm.
But then I feel like once they realize GTA 5 is finally like dead,
Mhm.
then they're gonna be like, okay, like
They've milked out enough money out of it. They're like, okay, now we gotta go milk Red
yeah,
Dead
like
2.
they'll probably add more strangers,
Mhm.
continue the story, maybe one or two missions, and then
Open Mexico?
yeah, maybe.
Open the border?
And then if we're lucky, we get a actual story DLC.
I hope,
Hopefully.
honestly. So,
If they could actually do story DLC like they used to back in GTA, what was the last time
4.
they did 4? Right, that was
Mhm.
the last time they had story DLC.
GTA 4.
Yeah. That
Well,
was,
actually, I don't know. I forget if Red Dead 1 came out after GTA
Oh
4.
wait, yeah, Red Dead. Yeah, Red Dead 1. Yeah, you're right. Red
Yeah,
Dead 1 was
Red
the last
Dead
one to
1.
have story,
Mhm.
and that was cool. That was Undead Nightmare.
Freaking, oh my god.
Yeah, that was
shit's-
fucking dope.
that
And
was
it's just like
amazing.
I was kind of hoping they would do something with this one, but I don't even know anymore what
Well-
direction they're going to.
Well, we have to look. I don't know if I forget when Undead Nightmare came out, but I'm pretty sure it took them a while to release
Yeah.
that DLC. It wasn't like I mean, it's only been what, like half a year, 6 months after it came out.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they should have come out with it already. I'm just saying I'm not
There
even
should have
sure
been an
if they're-
announcement or something.
Not even an announcement. I'm not even sure they would do it anymore.
Oh,
Because
okay.
if they see the profits in online, if they're
Mhm.
gonna all go there, then
Yeah,
it doesn't matter
for sure.
how
So they're focusing more on the money aspect versus the player base aspect,
I
where
don't
instead
wanna
of player
accept that.
expectations.
Well, for Rockstar being the passion project that we're talking about for this game,
Do you think they would take this one more seriously than they did GTA 5?
no, because that's not where the profit's at. And I feel like the people who are actually working on it, I don't feel like the full team is there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of just like people maintaining servers or just like small side jobs.
They're just doing small like increments. Probably eventually just.
It's like, oh, like
small
basically,
content they're gonna add
yeah,
eventually.
can you code in another?
Oh, can you add a new
gun?
person or a new gun or whatever like that? Can you give everybody more gold or whatever? And just
Yeah.
just to keep it alive. I'm guessing until they can get everybody on board with online, and then. Or do you think they're never gonna get full on board online? Do you think they're done with it?
They need more people to hop on that train, and hopefully the people that are still on the train to not hop off, basically.
Well, that's obviously what they're hoping for. Because if they keep on if they keep on all the people they have already and force more people onto it,
Mm-hmm.
then there's no way in hell they're ever gonna come out with a story-based DLC.
Yeah.
That's no longer gonna happen now, which sucks because I think the strong suit of Rockstar has always been storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
world building, and what's it called? Adding random strangers and guns into your game isn't gonna do that anymore.
Well, hopefully they can tell a better story by doing that, because that's probably what they're gonna keep doing.
And you can't really change that.
Well, they did. So when you start off the online, you do have like some, I guess, a main story focus.
Yeah.
And they added, I think, 2 or 3 missions with the new update, which like they weren't big,
But is it like a continuing story, or is it like GTA story focus, where you're like, oh, you're helping out Lester?
it was a continuing story. So you're
so
helping
there
like
is
a
actual
lady.
through line the entire time.
Yeah, it's
There's
just
actually
very
something
vague.
going on.
Like I can't even remember her name. It's just like it's irrelevant. Like there's more
Because
to do
They're
with
not
the strangers.
they're not detailing everything because it needs to be vague enough for everybody to be included.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's always going to be a second person story, not a third or first person story anymore.
Mhm.
Because it needs to be you. They can't say they can't like clarify the relationship because you're not an actual character.
Yeah.
You're just a player. I'm afraid that's what's going to happen with the whole franchise. It's just going to be driven by.
If they really want people to come back, I think Undead Nightmare would be
That'd be the ideal
the
supreme way to
ideal
do
thing
it.
to do.
If they can come back with a vengeance with something big in terms of story content, then they've got it. They've won people.
They just gotta do some Destiny type kind of DLC, I would say, where they add another story.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but yeah, does it deserve Game of the Year?
Yes.
Yes, I still think it does.
So even through the backlash of online and
Hmm.
the lack of content,
Online.
I think we can all clarify. We can all agree that online does not bring down the single player.
Yeah,
No.
It does not apply to the entire game. It's probably like what 10. For me, that's online's probably 10% of the
For
game.
me, online is 0%. I never even played it.
Like it's still there. Like
Wow. Okay.
just ignore the haters.
I know, right?
But
I'm not gonna focus on online. For me, looking at the single player, which is all I played, I think it wins.
Mhm.
Honestly, the only thing that I can say that we do have to provide to the people who are listening is none of us have played God of War, so we can't definitively say forever that. It's
Yeah, you're
better.
right.
but it didn't look that good.
But for sure, I think we can all come to agreement that
Our
Red
boy is
Dead.
better.
our boy Red Dead Redemption 2 deserves the Game of the Year, and it will forever be hailed as a classic.
And I think if it were to go again for this year, I would still pick it because I don't think there's been a game this year that has come out that I like.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't dethroned you.
It hasn't dethroned. It hasn't. Oh, it's still for the newest game. I think it's still on there for the meantime. But I'm waiting for Borderlands 3 when that comes out.
Borderlands 3. That's all
I
you're waiting
pre-ordered
for.
it.
Of course you did.
Are we doing an E3 podcast?
Eventually, but what's
Okay.
it called? In that case, since this is just such a big game, where does this land on your top 5 or top 10?
That's hard. I don't know. That's a hard question. I'd say top 3.
Top 3 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna tell you to tell me if it's 1, 2, or 3. Just tell me if it's top 3, top 5, top 10.
Top 3.
Top three?
Definitely.
Hill,
Top 3.
top
Definitely,
3.
yeah.
Wow. I was gonna say top 5. I think.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, I love the game. It's great. It's just
Fuck over here.
he's chasing over after somebody. It's such a great game, and it deserves to be in top 5 for sure. It's just with the other games that I have in my top 3
The fuck over here.
haven't added nostalgia to it, so that's why they're in top 3. I think this is probably 4th place. Yeah,
What's your number 1? I'm curious.
my number 1 is probably BioShock
I knew it. Infinite?
Infinite. Yeah.
I knew it.
I just played Burial at Sea, and I love
know
it.
you told
I
me.
love it even more
I never
now.
got to play it. I'm
I
sad.
love it even more.
I need
now.
to buy that DLC.
You have it.
What? I
You
do?
have the BioShock collection, don't you?
Oh yeah, I have
It's
it on
in
PS4.
It's in there.
But I want to play it on PC because that's where I played it originally.
Okay, then we'll play that then. For those of you listening, give us your thoughts. Tell us what you like, what you didn't like about Red Dead. But yeah, Red Dead, you're a good boy.
So Rockstar is a company. Where do we think they are, like in their position right now?
As in, do I like them?
Yeah. Or
What? Hello? Yes, of course.
like,
Here's
where
the
do you
thing.
see them
They're
in the
not.
future?
They're not dishonorable to me. They're
No.
still honorable,
Mhm.
but they're at a point where if they take the wrong line, they might
Also,
just.
that a crossroads.
Yeah, they're at a crossroads. Like
Mm.
if they start from now on only focusing on multiplayer content, they're gonna
Mhm.
lose it from me.
Yeah.
Because everything that they've strived within, everything that's been defined as their strong suit is storytelling.
Mhm. So I looked up the amount of time it took for them to release the DLC for like Red Dead and for GTA 4,
Yeah.
and it was approximately like a 6 months time interval.
So we're due.
So yeah, we are past due currently. Because
If-
for Red Dead 1, the original game came out in May, and then the DLC for it came out in October of that same year, which was 2010. And then GTA 4 came out in, I think it was April of 2008, and then the DLC came out for it. Actually, since there was two, the DLCs came out separate times. So Ballad of Gay Tony was first, came out in February of the next year, and then it came out, and then the Lost and the Damned came out in April of 2009. So they came out, I think it was like a couple of months, like 6 months after. So yeah, we're kind of like in that time where a DLC is kind of like, oh, like, is it gonna happen or what?
I feel like with standards today, not saying that there wasn't standards back then, but like with the, I guess, the graphics aspect of it,
Mhm.
and actually getting, I guess, the not voice acting, but the performance capture for everyone, I think that does take a little bit longer. So I think they should have about a year time if they actually want to have a good DLC.
Mm-hmm. I think they should do what everyone else isn't doing and take their time to make a worthy DLC, like what they did with
Destiny.
this game obviously had some time and effort in it to be put in. So I feel like if they were to do a DLC, they would have to be obviously taking longer than what they did previously.
Mm-hmm.
Because back then, even with like GTA 4 and Red Dead, the graphics weren't as demanding. There weren't as intricate ideas that were put into those games as they were here. So like they're gonna have to implement so much more if they're gonna do a DLC. But also, what I think that they might be doing is they kind of transition to where instead of doing a story-based DLC, they just do like, oh, multiplayer is your DLC, you know? And because back then in Red Dead 1 and GTA 4, the multiplayer was just like there, like you could fuck around, but there was no side missions, there was no activities.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, back
You were
in like
just
GTA 4,
GTA
there was
4
nothing
and Red
to
Dead.
it.
There was
Really,
nothing to it. Legit, like it was just a.
it was just something you did on the side for fun.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you
honestly.
can explore New York City with friends, and
Yeah,
you can
that's what my
fuck
brother
up
would
other
do. He
people.
would literally just play with
That
friends
was
online,
legit
and
it.
That's it.
That was legit it. And then GTA 5 came out, and it
Changed the game.
changed everything. There's a
It made it-
story. There's different characters. There's more events. There's actual stuff to do, where it's different from the actual plot of the story, but it kind of links because you're using the same characters. You're introducing new ideas, but I feel like that's what they're kind of like. I feel like that's what they did instead of using story-driven DLC, where they did with GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption. I feel like they just transitioned to using multiplayer as a replacement for it with GTA 5, and I feel like they're going to try and do that with Red Dead Redemption 2, which is kind of a disappointment because this game has so much better potential to release a story-driven DLC rather than just hyping up the multiplayer aspect of it.
They're trying to do what not every other, but what a lot of games in today's day and age is doing. Basically, they're trying to become a service game.
Yeah,
You know, where you just sustain as long as you can and keep the attention of gamers beyond what you would originally demand. You know, back then, like if you had a campaign, you did the campaign, you finished. That's it. The end.
Yep.
The only game that really had a longer lifespan were
COD.
multiplayer shooters like that, or if it was something like a game that needed to be a long lifespan game, like World of Warcraft or something like that. That was the only kind of game that kept going. That
Halo.
kept. Well, yeah. I mean, Halo had multiplayer as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Halo was a shooter.
that also had a multiplayer shooter continuation with it.
Mm-hmm.
But as companies saw that you can do this and just keep players coming and not leaving,
Mm-hmm.
and keeping the economy and money coming in, now every game's trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? Battlefront is trying to be a service game. Battlefield is trying to be a service game. Yeah.
I for one fully support that they're finally fixing Battlefront 2. They added so much more stuff.
Well,
to
I mean,
it.
they needed Disney to grab them by the balls to do it, but I mean, at least they're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Thank God. Also, I feel like I feel like the gamer community, like, not that I don't like using that word because it sounds like really freaking
Gamers rise.
cringy. I don't like using it because it's kind of like dumb. But I feel like
What's dumb is that they've made it into a terrible term.
yeah, they made it into a derogative kind of.
and that was just like, oh,
cringy.
you're a gamer, really? It's just like,
Why
you
is this
can't-
train going so slow? What the
because
hell?
he doesn't want to hit you.
The horse is gonna die. Okay.
Oh, good. Oh my. Anyways, but yeah, I think Rockstar is heading into the direction of trying to be a service game, and that's just not what they're supposed to be doing, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
That's all there is with Rockstar. Did a good job portraying your single player campaign. Don't fuck it up by going into multiplayer.
And I think something really cool is all the people that did the original performance capture would be down to do some type of other content for it.
Yeah, Roger Clark and I forgot who it was, but him and one of the actresses loved playing their characters.
Yeah,
They enjoyed it.
So with Red Dead Redemption 1, Rob Weedoff said that he went to like 1 or 2 conventions after the game came out, and then he just stopped. And now after Red Dead 2, they all go to different conventions. Like I think they were just in Toronto or
They're everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I know they went to Dubai like last month or something.
yeah. But it's like all of them. So Roger Clark, Alex McKenna, Benjamin Byron Davis, just everyone, and like they all they basically their own family, and I think that's really
it's
cool.
amazing. I love it when every time I see a group picture of them at a con, they're like, wow, this is really. They really bonded together. All the characters and actors, they're like, they really did become their characters. Like they're really like a family, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. I love seeing it. It's great.
You heard it, Rockstar. Don't fuck it up. Is that
Yeah,
it?
like they're currently watching this podcast right now. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're like,
what do they think?
These teenagers.
Thanks for listening, Rockstar. You have had a great track record ever since you started. I think if you keep going the way that you've always been, you're gonna be doing a good job.
Can I get more gold bars, please? Again,
If you give me a whole stack of gold bars when I start the game, then
so my gamer tag is
this has been the 4 Lumps signing off. Thanks for listening. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.
A mist of crash